to give everyone a preview of what they're going to see later this afternoon during his full 15-minute power aerobatic routine. We call this a teaser, Rob. That's just going to get everybody a little bit fired up, but we're going to leave them wanting just a little bit more, which you're going to see later today. So ladies and gentlemen, if you direct your attention high overhead, you will see, diving into the aerobatic box, a very small, bright red, custom-built biplane, which we proudly call the Oracle Challenger 3. And that aircraft is being flown by longtime Andrew's favorite, making his 16th appearance over the skies of this wonderful facility, none other than Mr. Sean D. Tucker. This aircraft that you see Sean flying, as I mentioned, is the Oracle Challenger 3. If you've seen Sean fly any time during the last few years, that would have been the Oracle Challenger 2. This is an all-new aircraft which we built specifically for Sean because the old airplane just simply couldn't do what he needed. He had reached the limits of that aircraft, which even today is still considered to be one of the top biplanes used for air show or competition flying, but Sean's skill level is at such a high level that he had maxed out the capabilities of that airplane. So our only option was to design this aircraft. It's the Oracle Challenger 3, and you are about to see some of what it is capable of. Sean realizes that the next realm in air show flying is something that would be similar to the model airplane guys doing. We call it 3D flying. High torque, low speed, with some amazing maneuverability. The biggest difference on this aircraft versus our old aircraft is the tail. If you can look closely, or as you come down to the pit area at the far south end of the flight line, once Sean gets us back on the ground, you'll notice the entire tail is made out of carbon fiber, whereas the old aircraft had what we call a flat fabric-covered tail. The control surfaces on the tail of this aircraft are actually aerodynamically shaped. In other words, shaped like a wing. That allows Sean a tremendous amount of maneuverability. And this aircraft also shares with our older aircraft the aileron system on the wing. You can't see it here, but again, come down to the south end of the flight line, and we'll gladly show you that this aircraft has 8 ailerons on it, which for those of you who know airplanes, knows that that does not sound right. Typically, each wing will have 1 aileron. The aileron is the control device which allows the aircraft to roll. We have 2 ailerons per wing, and they are set up so that at high speed, Sean is able to use the larger outboard ailerons to roll the airplane. But there are many times during the performance where Sean will be at airspeed so low that the wings actually are producing 0 lift. He is actually moving at a speed below the stall speed of the wings. So what he'll do is use that tremendous amount of air being pushed back from that giant 3-bladed composite propeller. That air is then driven over those inboard or smaller ailerons to still allow Sean to maneuver the aircraft. Later this afternoon, you're going to see Sean do his full 15-minute power aerobatic routine to include the cut, which Sean is simulating at this time. He starts with the inside loop. Now watch as he pushes outside using that new 3D tail. And right now we're going to try to reach Sean in the cockpit. Sean, or when you get home tonight, we invite you to log in. Or actually just simply type in www.teamoracle.com. And also we encourage you to visit Sean's new Facebook fan page where you can learn more about this one-of-a-kind aircraft, the man flying it, our 2010 air show schedule. You can post questions and we're more than happy to answer them. This is in fact our first air show of the 2010 air show season, and it is the first air show to ever see this one-of-a-kind aircraft perform. This aircraft made its first test flight approximately 1 month ago, and in that time this aircraft has already accumulated 70 hours of flying time, and Sean has made nearly 130 training flights in it. By the time we conclude our 2010 air show season, this aircraft, along with the 2 others that we travel with, will accumulate more than 25,000 miles of distance flown. Each of them will accumulate more than 350 total hours of flying time. And in that time, we will perform at approximately 20 events all across North America in front of a total of more than 8 million air show fans. So Sean's got it back on the ground. He's going to make his way back to the hot ramp. So again, I invite you to come down to the south end of the flight line and come check out this one-of-a-kind aircraft. And before I turn the microphone over, I'd just like to let you know that you guys have the best air show announcer working for you here today, coming all the way from the beautiful state of Ohio. Good friend of mine, Mr. Rob Ryder. Thank you, Brian Norris. You're very